And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. This is the second part of the second stream on the map, submitted by a community member. Just so I don't butcher their Reddit name, it should be in the title to the stream and the title to the YouTube video. I do know that I think they technically have a different name on the Southern forums as well, so just not to confuse names. I'll have a link also to where you can get the Last Planet file to make this map if you want to play this map as well, and see if you can do the start faster than I am. You might benefit from deploying your infantry a little bit faster. Maybe not raise a brigade, but raise a couple independent brigade or independent units right away, so you can get a little bit more of a better picket. So we're picking up the bottom round 13. We hold 4 infantry over the intern. We have 1 decision awaiting us. And that decision is going to be pretty uneventful. Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, there's no movement there, no movement there, no movement there. We haven't taken any losses, so there's nothing needing to be deployed. I think the only thing I'll do is we'll extend the dirt road. And now we're just trying to save up for the recycling facility, which is 2 turns at 145. So 2 more turns we start building that. Danger isn't getting any worse. It says it went up 2 points. I think that's right about where it was before. That's a problem, but there's not much we can do about it other than start shooting, which in the short run the shooting is going to make it worse, not better. Yeah, we don't have any cards that necessarily can help the situation, so we just cycle a turn. Yeah, between the turn processing time here and the slowness of the start, this is from my perspective, this is a very slow start, and I can imagine from a viewer who likes to see the game played a little bit faster, this would also be glacially slow. We're waiting for good news. Probably not going to get any news, to be fair. We're just going to basically cycle the turn again if there's no interesting cards or decisions. There's definitely stuff going on the planet. Just sadly, not much that we can see. And the stuff that we'd like to see, we're not seeing. Which is, we'd hope that the slavers would move away from us, not towards us. Though that does probably tell us something, and that is that they're probably not adjacent to another major. Because if they're adjacent to another major, they'd be doing the thing that where they're doing to us, but to the other major. And RNG tends to make them a lot less passive on exposure to other majors. So they'd be all off dealing with the other front and leaving ours alone because we've been fairly friendly with them. Move the territory, so that's the slaver to the south and east. Didn't move any of the slavers that we saw. And that's the northwest. And didn't move any of the slavers that we can see. And if they don't move the ones we can see, then it really doesn't change anything. I think we're almost the end of the turn. Waiting for the turn to start. There it's rolling our stuff. Although it's taking awfully long. There we go. Round 14, we have 3 citizens awaiting us. Militia wants extra funds. We probably... What's the militancy doing in our zone? It is being stable. So we probably do want it to go up. If we can get it to go up.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yep, we're still focusing on discovery there. We haven't discovered anything, really. Yeah, we haven't discovered anything. So, do confirm there. And then we want to rally up some money. I don't need the rare earth metals. So I could probably make do without the rare earth metals. Although, it's the same price as it is for the metal. And the metal is definitely more abundant. So let's actually sell the metal off.
We'll go.
Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
Get that. That raises our militia profile a little bit, which help keep the militancy up. Which would, in theory, potentially help with getting more reinforcements out to form the militia. We're going to wait one more turn, then we're going to start building that extraction location. Yeah, those irregular tanks are realistically a problem. I assume they probably have like 25 millimeter armor. Although that's still a sufficient amount of armor to be an issue to the infantry. Um, and then I don't think we got any interesting strat cards. We have the ability to pick up another mercenary, or pick up another leader if we need another one, which we don't. So, yep. Reasonably boring turn, other than the having to sell metal off for an event. And we're waiting. There's very specific things we are waiting to see if they happen. They're unlikely to happen, as we've seen over the last couple turns. And yeah, we'll start working on that salvaging location. Probably start saving up the industry after that, maybe for report. And then hopefully by that time those are both done, the model design council will at least finish the infantry upgrade. And well, I suppose I should check the design we've got on the armored car. See if we've got a viable 50mm armored car buggy variant. I suspect our professional army one is actually probably less armored than the militia one. Wouldn't be surprised if it's only got 5mm of armor. But to be useful for what we need it for right now, it really needs the full armor complement, needs the full 50. And even then, it's probably not going to be enough to really deal with those tanks. We're going to need to probably get a tank of our own, or at least artillery. Yeah, don't thinking we're going to see any movement out of the slavers, at least in a useful direction. And that means if we don't see anything really moving out of them, eventually we're just going to have to attack them, and that's going to be a bloody affair this early in the game. And the tech this early in the game is... I'm suspecting this map might have been started on Epic Slow. Which, if it was, this is a painful start for Epic Slow. It really restricts your ability to get alternative choices. Yeah, once we get some of those alternatives, once we get like artillery and tanks and stuff like that, opens up a lot more options. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet at all. Being attacked by the non-aligned, and holding, doing some damage. There we go. Round 15, we killed 4 infantry. We have 2 students winning us. We discovered the ammunition factory. Okay, we'll start researching that. And we got access to a new organization. Foreign Affairs is not going to help us with the slave situation. Air Force is way too early. Interior. Actually, the Interior might be a little tempting, because then that would give us access to taxation stuff, but no, we're going to do military. We're trying to get the economy research going. And then Ammo Factory.
Received.
Ammo Factory is not really the thing we want to work with, so we're going to leave it exploration or discovery focused. But mine, recycling facility. And then I was thinking of putting the dock here. Although I suppose it probably actually makes sense to put the dock where we're putting the salvaging facility. Either way, you can see, assuming the food on the planet, the life forms on the planet are edible, the port will produce up to 100 food, as well as provide 1,000 logistics worth of transport capacity for any of the sea routes that we have coming out of it. And I should, sooner rather than later, probably pick up the transport hub. I sell like 1,000 food and get a decent amount for it. Yeah.
We'll go.
And then, yeah, that's given us enough that we can go ahead and nationalize the transport hub. Happiness is getting uncomfortably low. If it gets any lower, we'll have to try to take some whatever response we can to keep it back up. And that's pretty much the turn. Next 2 turns, assuming no other delays, that should complete. That'll provide us with additional metal, oil, and rare metals. Although, unlike the scavenging community here, it will not provide us any pop credits. Okay. And then we didn't get any useful strat cards. There's definitely some useful zone cards we can get that we're not getting. Yeah, my barest expectations for this unturn is going to be long and probably boring. Because again, we haven't pissed off either of the slavers enough that they're going to attack us. But at the same time, they don't like us enough that they're not... I think even if they liked us, they probably aren't going to leave. So we're running into a problem of we're going to have to start a fight with them. I'm just not equipped to deal with them at this point. We are resource positive, which is one reason we're not really concerned about the fact that we're low on credit, or low on credit generation. We're positive in everything else. Again, not much to talk about. Bit of a shame that this opening is just so slow. You know, we haven't seen any movement in the slavers. I think we've seen the opposite. We've seen more move in, and that's a little bit of a problem. Definitely seeing a lot of potential in this map for maybe mid to late game, but gotta get past the early game here. Those volcanoes will be nice. The ocean access is pretty nice. The rivers are nice. Okay, we haven't found any metal, so that's a concern for early mid-game. But if we get into, like, metal soil filtration, we'll have plenty of metal, so... There we go. So we'll state round 16. We suffered no losses nor made kills. We have 7 citizens awaiting us. We did develop the GI2, so we've got the second generation infantry here. We had a little bit of a worker shortage. It's actually going to be delayed to be 2 turns. We probably had a worker shortage because everyone just doesn't like living here. Yeah. Corporate abuse of power is not good. We need a new counselor, or new advisor. Not advisor. Leader. It's going to be the Merc, which isn't probably the best of choices, but... Yeah, not the best of choices, but it is what we've got, so it's what they're getting.
Okie dokie.
Got the job. Focus on discovery.
Okie dokie.
Finished infantry. Let's take a quick glance at the existing buggy model. Yeah, so I think the militia buggy is actually better than our existing buggy. Because I think the militia buggy is rocking 25mm steel. We're only rocking 5mm. So let's go into the blueprints. So we've got machine gun, machine gun, and machine gun, so we're stuck with that choice. We're going to at least want 25mm. We really want 50mm. Probably can't run 50mm in the light diesel engine. Could get away with the medium engine. So let's go medium engine. 50mm medium engine. It's not that much of an increase in oil per hex. From just the engine standpoint. But yeah, that's what we'll run. So we'll go to the blueprint guy. Say start development. Recon buggy design 1, so that's a 50mm with medium diesel engine. Later game, we'll probably go up to the better engine, just have a little more action points, but for the moment, we're going to be a little bit fuel efficient and run with that version.
Understood.
Cooper. You have an emergency. I'd like to go with the Merit, but we really don't need any more danger. So we're going to help the group. You want help with feast, which is money. You're offering to buy IP. Sure. Okay. And you want to buy slaves from us, okay. Or want us to buy slaves from you. So like that much fuel? Is that enough fuel to get the offer slaves? Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir.
And then you want money for that. We do want merit, we do want commerce, so we do want to give it to you.
We'll go.
Yep, that's enough for that. We're gonna want more treasury as well. Let's just have budget, so we can sell off 32 rare metal.
We'll go.
So we can meet the treasury needs. And we're running negative a bunch of stuff because we've run a bit short on workers. Due to hiring up for the truck station and the recycling. That should improve as hiring continues. Strat card wise, something we really want to invest in thinking. Yeah. We are building something industry-wise, so I don't want to do a big pass on upgrading infantry, which we could otherwise do. Right, so if we were to say GIs, mass upgrade, all bringing to the SHQ, that would cost about 300 industry. We're otherwise equipped for it, so we just need to save up, that's like 3-4 turns of industry. And then we can swap all the infantry over the GI2s. How much better the GI2s over the GI1s, I think. We can see that in the model. So they're about 6 combat ability better. They're not much more expensive. So that's the big advantage there. Not much more expensive. I think they technically go through ammo a little bit faster. That's not really a concern yet. And then 6 more combat abilities. So they're about 33% better. And there's nothing we're likely to see here that's going to be good. The best that we can hope for is, again, that the slavers back off, so we can take some of the territory off of them. Because there are some hexes that we want from them. Basically, the three within range of our zone. And so we want those 4 and these in here. And I suppose with this done, then we want to go farther back that way as well. So at some point, we're just gonna have to pull the blinds off and stop ignoring the fact that we've got slavers next door and have to start fighting them. And we wait, hopefully expecting to not see anything interesting. Because at this point, interesting things are probably bad signs for us, with the close proximity to our capital. And I think with that, that's evidence that the slavers have not moved away from where we want them to not be. And in theory, it's coming up on our turn, where we're probably going to realize that not much has happened, and we're just going to hit the end turn again. Suffered no losses, nor made kills. We have 2 decisions on round 17. We've got a minor strike. We need to give in some of the demands so we get some democracy. Industrial accident, you have my full support to mitigate it. We did get a critical success, so no danger increase. Success. And then, as usual, no interesting cards. And construction-wise, recycling should finish next turn. We did pretty much get full workers, which is why all our resources are positive again, except for the ones we're consuming to build the recycling center. So yeah, I think we're going to cycle the turn, and then we'll probably dump most of the industry into improving our units, while we continue to research the model. If we look at the org, model design, when the new recon buggy is done, we'll probably want to build like one of the new ones, one batch of the new ones, and then we probably have to just, if we're going to actually be moving forward, we're going to have to start a fight at some point. Because we're having more and more and more of an issue of trying to keep everyone happy. So it's not going to be long, and the loyalty is going to become a problem. We have loyalty problems for too long, then we're going to not have a functional country. That's kind of what we're trending towards at the moment, which isn't particularly great. And we're waiting for... Well, we're waiting for very specific things. Hopefully not interesting things. In a way, interesting things are the opposite of what we want. Other than the fact that we'd like the video to be interesting. Like, I think you'd like to watch an interesting video, and I'd like to be playing an interesting game. But we're definitely in a situation where if things went interesting, it'd be a big problem for the success of the run. Which is part of what's frustrating with what's going on right now. Well, we're getting a little bit of reconnaissance on the ocean that we have contact with as far as the maritime trading house is concerned. So that isn't a small ocean, as can be seen by random bits and blobs all over the ocean. Rifle militia once again attacking us. Again, not really a problem. Socialist State. Round 18. We have 3 decisions awaiting us. We didn't get the reconnaissance, which, okay, isn't super surprising, I suppose, in hindsight. Your brigade assets at least 2. I don't think we can afford that, so I'm just telling you no. Investigate without directing the harassment, or who's directing the harassment. We're going to fail that roll, but we're going to try. And yeah. Critical failure, 50 more unrest. Worker happiness decreases by 40. You're offering by IP. We'll go ahead and take that because we could use the money. And we've been blessed with another militia unit. And we got a big unrest problem. We'll see if we can get that under control, and yeah, we're gonna have support issues from the city. Let's do what we can to mass upgrade. GI choose. Upgraded?
Welcome.
Yeah. And we do have the recycling facility online, so we should be getting more metal and such in going forward. And with that, we just... Again, I don't think we got any of the useful cards. So we just cycled the turn. With this, we're pretty much at the point where I can't really accept the unrest. Well, we're going to probably burn off as much of the rest as we can, and then we're just going to have to attack the slavers, because we're not stable with them that close to us. And that unrest event just demonstrated that we no longer have any stability. So we're in that awkward point where I either need to attack and lose, or just accept that we've lost. This may not be a viable start. And to be fair, a little bit of the slavers, right? We managed to sort of pacify the slavers by, you know, buying slaves. You've got to get the RNG events to buy those slaves, right? So if we'd got different RNG, we could have pacified the slavers, like, you know, 3 tiles out, and then we'd be fine and dandy, and this would be a viable start. So it's not an unwinnable start, but it's The RNG I got has pretty royally screwed the startup. And at this point, it's trying to figure out if we can survive it. Okay, so the mutants just took one of our territories. Which isn't... Well, we've got them far enough away that we're not worried about the mutants at this point. But that's important to know that they are getting a little bit more active. The mutants are also probably easier to fight than the slavers. And again, no usable motion in the slavers. Well, that goes another cup of tea. And in theory, it's coming back up on our turn. We can see how much the unrest has improved over the end turn. of no losses nor made kills, we have 2 decisions. Round 19.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Spend some money to get that done. To be fair, we're making rare earth metals decently quickly, so.
We'll go.
Some money back, so we're not completely broke. And then find some GI1s, mass upgrade, SHQ, GI2s. And get 25 of the remainder
we'll go.
upgraded. Presumably still have some unupgraded somewhere. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Did we actually upgrade them all? There was 200 in the Light Infantry Brigade somewhere. 200 unupgraded. Oh, in the HQ. The HQ, so it's that 200 there that's missing. The upgrade. So in rest, improved 12 points. Loyalty is still dropping. Zone happiness is below 50, so the loyalty is going to slowly trend towards where it is, which this is... goes below 50, we're going to have problems. So we really do need to be figuring out how we're getting them back. The danger is at least not increasing, which does offer us some insight into how we can probably get it better. If we can get them like 2 or 3 hexes back, it'll get better. Yeah, at this point, I'm going to do something a little bit weird, which is we're going to play off protection on these guys knowing we're going to fail, partially to piss them off.
Sir, yes, sir.
Critical failure made them angry. That way we can declare war on them, hopefully without getting another happiness penalty. And they are the ones we have to attack. We're just at the point where, to stabilize the situation, we need to attack them, we need to drive them back. Looking at the time, this is probably going to be the last end turn of this part. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be a part up tomorrow. We're going to record at least 1 more part, if not 2 more parts tonight. If the situation doesn't readily improve by the end of stream today, I'll probably just call it and say that this is not an interesting start. Because, at least the way I play, I like a little bit more movement than this. And this is super static. This would probably be more interesting on a more powerful computer. This is definitely a situation where my CPU is not making this an interesting play, because we're just waiting so much on the end turns. And there isn't enough meat between the turns here for it to be particularly interesting. Although if we get stuff moving, like we can get the slavers back, at least 2 to 3 hexes off the capital, then we might be in something that's a little more viable, a little bit more playable. But that'll be the plan over the next 2 parts. We'll see if we can get something that's going to be an interesting play by the end of stream today. Else we'll jump to the runner-up in the next stream of Shadow Empire in 4 days. But yeah, as is the expectation here for the end of turn here, this is probably going to be a boring end turn. We didn't piss the slavers off enough that they're going to attack us over the end turn. Although I'm going to attempt to continue pissing them off, so we're gonna try to get them to do that. I'd rather they attack us than we attack them. We've got enough of a cohesive front line that we could accept them attacking us, and that's not a problem. Yeah, these end turns are just... they're long, and there's nothing to see in them. Getting attacked a little bit by the non-aligned rifle militia in the top left. But as it has been before, the unit of militia has the ease of being able to deal with that, so that's not a problem. There we go. This is where we're going to go ahead and put the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to, once again, go make a new cup of tea before I make this, record the next part. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.